Christmas. Today we have a very special Christmas recipe for our vegetarian cookery class. So I want to welcome you to our Cookery Centre online vegetarian cookery class. Our centre is now open, but unfortunately we cannot run activities at the moment. But from Monday to Thursday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. you can call in for a hot drink and a biscuit and a chat. So if you're passing by and you see the lights on, come on in and say hello. It'd be lovely to see you again. So we're going to get on with our recipes today. Today I'm going to be making a vegetarian nut roast. And some of you who have attended the class in the past have seen that I have made nut roast before. So this is a different recipe from those. And also I'll be making an easy leek and potato soup. And these are some easy recipes that can be used over the Christmas period. Also, on our website, you can see the two previous online cookery classes. So you just have to go to cookerycentre.ie and you'll find the classes there. Also, you'll be able to see recipes from previous classes that we've already run. If you go to our Facebook page, if you just go on Facebook and look for Cookery Centre Ranelagh, you'll also see previous classes that were recorded live when we were able to run our classes then. So let's get stuck in. We're going to start with the leek and potato soup. So I hope that you enjoy these recipes and that you're going to try them at home. And I'd be interested to hear what you think of them if you do try them at home. Send me some pictures and some feedback on what you thought about it. So let's get stuck in. Okay, so as I said, we're going to start today with the leek and potato soup, and this is a really easy recipe. So I'm just going to, as I'm doing this, I'll tell you the quantities that I'm using. To start off with, I'm just going to put 1 tablespoon of oil into this big pot. And just let that heat up. So that's the one tablespoon of oil. We're also into that pot, we're going to put in so I've chopped up 1 onion. So it's you just have to chop it loosely because at the end you're going to blend the soup up. So you're going to throw that in, put all the onion in. And I didn't use a big onion, I just used a medium-sized onion. We're also going to add in 250 grams of potatoes that have been peeled and cubed. So they're going to go in. And then on top of that, we're going to put in 2 medium leeks. So I've already chopped them up there. So we're going to add that into the pot. Okay, so while that's in the pot there, we're going to stir it and we're going to sort of let it just let those vegetables cook for 3 to 4 minutes. So with the leek, I don't know whether you're used to cooking with leek, but they can have quite a lot of soil in them. So what I do with the leek is I chop it up and then I put it into a big bowl of cold water. So I filled this bowl up with cold water and I put chopped up the leek, put it in, give it a good swish around and let it sit for a few minutes, giving it every so often giving it a swish around. And then getting the colander, taking the leek and putting it into the colander, but not pouring, because otherwise you're going to pour all the dirt back over your leeks. So when you've done that there, your leeks are nice and clean. And as I said, this is a really easy soup that you can make. And you know, it'll be easy just to throw it on for your lunch one day when you're in a hurry. So you let those vegetables cook there for a few minutes just in the oil. Okay, so our vegetables our leek, our potato and our onion are starting to get soft there. So into that then you're going to add 1.5 litres of vegetable stock. So if you get the Knorr stock cubes, that's 3 stock cubes. So this is 1 litre. So I'm going to put this 1 litre in and then add the next half litre. Just because the it won't hold the full amount. Okay, so that's that into there. Okay, give it a wee stir, and then we're going to bring that to the boil. So I'm just going to move this over to my other ring, and we're going to let that cook while we start our nut roast. So that'll start cooking there. And once it comes to the boil, we're going to let it simmer for a while until it's all nice and soft. So we'll see the end product in about 20 minutes, hopefully. Okay, so while our soup is now simmering away there, it has come to the boil and it's just simmering there. So it'll simmer until it's like everything's nice and soft and it can be blended up easily. We're going to make the nut roast. And this is a lovely nut roast that has been given to me recently by my friends Neil and Fiona. You can do this nut roast vegan. There's no eggs in it. The only thing that you would need to probably check is the breadcrumbs. So today I've got just normal breadcrumbs. So we're going to, I'm going to show you what I've got in the bowl so far. Okay, so into this bowl I have got 450 grams of cooked carrots. So I've cooked the carrots, I chopped them, you can boil them or steam them, and you then, once they're all ready, you drain the water, but you don't throw the water away, you just put it into a bowl and you set it over for later. You mash up the carrots so they're nice and soft, mash them up really nicely, put them into the bowl, and then into that bowl you're going to add 1 medium onion that you have chopped and fried. So you cut up the onion, fry it for a couple of minutes, and then to that you're going to add 2 cloves of garlic that you've also chopped, and then you're going to add that into the onion and fry it for another couple of minutes so they're nice and soft. So once you've done that, you add it in to the carrots. Then into this goes 225 grams of cashew nuts that, if you get the whole ones, you can just throw them in the blender, chop them up nice and fine. 225 grams of cashew nuts thrown into here. Then you're going to add in 125 grams of breadcrumbs. So just get some bread, throw it in your blender, get it nice and fine, and throw it in. So you put that in, and then you're going to add your spices. So the spices that we're using today are, let me get them here, our first one is sage. So into that goes half a teaspoon of sage. And I put them into a little bowl like this here and just mix all the spices up. Obviously this is the one I use, but I've already thrown them in. So half a teaspoon of dried sage, then half a teaspoon of thyme, then half a teaspoon of marjoram, I think I'm pronouncing that right, but marjoram, half a teaspoon of that. Then we add in 1/4 of a teaspoon of ground nutmeg into the mix, and 1 teaspoon of black pepper, and also we're going to put in 1/8 of a teaspoon of dried rosemary. So that goes into this bowl, you mix it all up, and then you're going to add a tablespoon of tahini. So tahini is natural sesame seed puree, and it'll just give it that little bit of extra taste and give it a little bit more moisture. So far this is what has been added in to the mix. So if you can see that it's starting to come together nicely, so you make sure you give it a good mix up. So we're going to get on with the rest of the recipe now. I'm going to show you what else has to go into this, and then we're going to cook it. Okay, our mixture, as I said, that has got all the ingredients so far added in. So now into this here I'm going to add a teaspoon of Marmite. Now Marmite, some people absolutely detest Marmite, some people love it. I'm one of the people that I don't mind it in recipes, but I wouldn't eat it on toast. So don't be put off by the fact that Marmite's going into it. You'll not really taste it, it just gives it like a little bit of a stock taste. So you're going to put the 1 teaspoon in. Now this is quite sticky, so you'll need to sort of mix it up a bit. Scrape your spoon. And sure, by the time you get it off the spoons, you probably not have your teaspoon there anyway. Okay, so just going to add another wee bit in because so much of it stuck to the spoon. There we go, that'll do. So give that a good mix in. Make sure it's well distributed around the recipe. It's quite a small amount in comparison to the volume of the vegetables that we have here and the mixture. Okay, so then you're going to add 1 tablespoon of soy sauce. So you can get soy sauce anywhere. So 1 tablespoon goes in. Just pour it over. There we go. And we're going to mix that in. So, and to this here, you're also going to add 1 tablespoon of stock. Now, it's not going to be a vegetable stock. It's going to be the water. Do you remember I told you when you drain your carrots, drain the water into a bowl. Don't tip it down the sink, because from that you're going to take 1 tablespoon of that. So you see it's got nice orange colour, and you know you're putting some of the nutrients back into the mixture. So I'm just mixing this up with a wooden spoon, but if you prefer you can use your hands. And you know the mixture smells lovely with all those herbs in it. So we're going to transfer the mixture over into the tin. So I've already got the tin prepared. I've just greased it with some margarine. You're going to need a nice deep meatloaf tin, round about this size. So we're going to put this over into the tin. The smell is delicious. Okay, and now we're going to just push that down. You want to make sure you push it into the corners so it's nicely distributed throughout the tin, so that when it cooks there's not going to be a hole somewhere underneath. So just push it down. It's going to look like that, and then you cover it with tin foil. So I've got my tin foil already. We cover it with the tin foil, and we're going to put it in the oven. So you preheat your oven to 180 degrees C, or if you're cooking on gas, 350 Fahrenheit. So cover it and put it in the oven, and you let it cook for 1 hour. And then when it's cooked after the 1 hour, you remove the foil and cook for a further 10 minutes. So I'm going to just put this in the oven now, and I will be back to show you what it looks like in an hour, and also to show you what the soup is like. So it's still simmering away there. It's looking very tasty. So we'll just let that cook away there. Okay, so the soup is finished now. So I'm just going to show you a bowl of the soup. So this is our leek and potato soup, and I'll just go over the recipe, and the recipe will be online as well. So in this we put 1 onion sliced, 225 grams of diced potato, 2 medium leeks, and we put them into the pot and fried them for about 4 to 5 minutes in 1 tablespoon of oil. And then to that we added 1.5 litres of vegetable stock, and we brought it to the boil and let it simmer until all the vegetables were nice and soft. And then we blended it up, and that's that. And it's very, very tasty. And also our nut roast is now complete. And this is what it looks like. That's been in the oven for the last hour and 10 minutes. So into this here, again, the recipe will be online. Into this here we had 450 grams of carrots that were cooked, and the water drained out of them into a separate bowl, and then they were mashed up. We have 1 medium onion peeled and chopped, and also 2 cloves of garlic, and we fried the onion for a couple of minutes and then added the 2 cloves of chopped garlic into that and fried it for another few minutes. We have 225 grams of chopped cashew nuts, 125 grams of breadcrumbs. Then we added all the spices, which was half a teaspoon of dried sage, half a teaspoon of dried thyme, half a teaspoon of dried marjoram, a 1/4 teaspoon of dried rosemary, 1/8 of ground nutmeg, and 1 teaspoon of black pepper, ground black pepper. We mixed it all up. Then to the mixture we added 2 tablespoons of tahini, which is sesame seed paste. We added 2 tablespoons of tahini, 1 teaspoon of Marmite, and 1 tablespoon of soy sauce. And then we added 1 tablespoon of the water that we drained from the carrots, all into the mixture. Mix it all up and put it into a dish. Make sure you push it all down over to the sides, get it nice and smooth in the top, and then you put it in the oven at 180 degrees. You cover it with tin foil for an hour, and after the hour you take the tin foil off the top and cook it for another 10 minutes. And that's how you make the nut roast and the leek and potato soup. So they're 2 fairly simple recipes. The leek and potato soup can be made 20 minutes and you have a nice tasty soup, and the nut roast also then can be made for Christmas dinner or any other special occasions. So I really hope that you'll enjoy these 2 recipes and that you will get to try them. Okay, until the next time, if I don't see you before Christmas, I want to wish you a very happy Christmas, and we really hope that 2021 will be a better year for all of us, and a year where we will get to have cookery classes in person again, where you get to try the food at the end. But until then, please look after yourselves, look after your families, and keep safe. Bye bye.